Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Meeple has landed.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Vitruvian Meeple's production of The Powers That Be, a Claim the Sky campaign. I am your host, Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple, here as always with Patrick, Ecat, Matt, Julie, Ray, and a little bit of twist in my tongue. This is going to be excellent. As always, we're here to play some CYPHER systems, some superheroes. Heroes for a very loose definition of the term. But anyway, so without further ado, because as usual, we've got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it, I'm going to hand it over to our GM, Patrick. Patrick, please, take us back into the world of Excelsior.
All right. So later the evening after you've spoken with your good psionic friend, some terrible news hits the airwaves, or at least for you guys, which is that the circus on Rikers Island has opened. There's balloons and clowns in front of the bridge, and people are actually going in, and much to your absolute total horror. No, what are you doing? Don't go in there. But people are heading over.
The horror is when people come back out.
Your calliopes, you see, carnival things going on all over the place whenever you look in that general direction. And surprisingly, some people are even like coming back out, which there's always a question about that with that crew of people.
Yep.
Yeah, but are they the same people coming out who came in?
We're getting into a Ship of Theseus thing here, I think.
There's a monkey in Unit 3.
So, we move ahead to the next morning, as I'd like to start things on occasion. So the next morning, we fast forward to first thing, of course, all of you will be very familiar with. Pa gets up and wanders off to Sunbucks to get herself a very, very large, complicated coffee and a muffin as big as her head.
Yes.
So she is hanging out over at the Sunbucks, just, picking apart her muffin in a very particular order because everybody has one. Some people rip the top off of it, set that aside for later, and then just finish the bottom first, or other people just go right for the top first and then force their way through the rest of it. So you hear the bell ring on the door. A person walks in. You're not really paying attention until you hear the following words shouted across the room. Everybody freeze. This is a stick-up. Give me all your money or the coffee machine gets it. And you look up, and there is a person who looks sort of like a businessman, painted up like a clown, wearing a clown wig, with a pistol aimed at the coffee machine.
Well, shit.
Your friendly neighborhood morning barista, Jane, looks up from her, she's like, doodling something on a napkin, looks up, kind of tilts her head a bit, confused by what she's beholding right now. and probably wishing that she had her gun belt on.
Hmm.
You haven't even gotten through your coffee. You've barely started it. It is way too early for this.
It is officially way too early for this crap. Okay. Push the coffee back. Put the muffin down. Push the plate back. Take a napkin. Hold on. Make sure that the fangs and the paws are clean. Slide the chair back. Get up. How far away?
Everything inside of the sunbox is within short range. So you can just run up to them or jump over to them quite easily. And of note, this person is not a terribly good bank robber. He's focusing all of his attention on the baristas. His back is turned to the rest of the room. So, like, a couple of people have already just gotten up and walked out. Like, nope, done. I'm out.
Fuck this.
I don't blame them.
Fun fact, in the Hitman video games, you can knock somebody out with a thrown muffin. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, I'm not technically in the shadows, but yeah, I'm going to basically just jump right over the tables. Basically at his back to just take him down as fast as possible.
All right, he is. Oh, hang on a second. Since we have it. Back over there. No, Bill is not involved in this fight. He's just hanging off of the map for no reason. Okay. So let's start us some combat. All right. So if you'd like to roll your initiative.
I'm having a complete utter brain fart. As to where the
Skills.
there we go. Narf. Difficulty? Patrick, difficulty.
His difficulty is 2. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
her total initiative is still a 10.
Oh, what are you doing? There we go. Okay, so Pa, you're up first.
Okay.
Show him what for.
I'm going to be using swipe. Which will actually, you know what? I'm gonna go for I'm going straight arm, unarmed, said fly tackle to the back. Uses his weight against him.
Okay.
Difficulty?
2.
2. Still 2. Just checking. Okay. That's 9, 11. Oh, and because I'm assuming that he is unaware of me. So can I assume that?
Yes.
Okay, so
until he gets hit, he does not know you're there. He is kind of
okay. So he gets an additional 3 points of damage. So that's 14 points of damage.
Ooh. Okay. So that knocks
Congratulations, he's a stain.
that knocks him down to half.
Oof.
Oof. And he is essentially leap at him and, do a nice
Half?
thing. He is on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That was the goal. I am now I am now sitting on him. Fingers in the hair, ready to start beating his head into the ground, muttering about haven't even finished my coffee yet.
Okay, let's see.
Now watch carefully as the cat displays the traditional feed me pose.
So
No,
he is
channeling
going
Simon's cat.
he's going to spend his turn trying to get his gun back. So he's like, "Arr, arr," and then snatches it back because he dropped it when you had landed on him. Because
This guy is embarrassingly dumb.
So you're up next. Are you going to continue just pounding him into the ground?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
He has chosen poorly.
I am literally going to take the back of his head. As I said, my fingers are wrapped into whatever here, back of the skull. I'm going to pound his face on the floor until
Okay.
Notice the cat. Denied her breakfast. Reacts in anger.
Oh, there we go. That's another 10 points of damage.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Gonna need him up.
Stop! He's already dead.
Apparently he's not, though.
Okay.
Still got
so
4
roll
points.
yourself a speed defense. Once again, target 2.
What was that?
Speed defense, target 2. He's going to attempt to defend himself against the person who's on his back
Can
by
you even
doing the
fail
dumbest thing possible, which is to point the gun this way and fire. He's not very good with a gun, obviously.
Ooh. So you're going to give him the death condition.
We just got rid of one of those.
Oh, there we go.
Making bad decisions.
Oh, look at that. Difficulty
Whoa.
0.
Making bad decisions.
Okay, so there was no way he was even going to hit you. So he succeeded in deafening himself and also setting his wig on fire because it is cheaply spun plastic fiber that he's just discharged a weapon next to and given it powder burns that it
Yeah.
He's not having a very good day.
No.
All right. Next round. Let's see if you can finish this poor soul off.
Finish him.
No. Play with your food.
Oh, there we go. And my effect.
Oh, that's just ugly. Oh,
Because I don't need the extra points of damage at this point.
So talk to him.
So what did you do to him in order to cause this to happen?
She decapitated him like a mouse.
Pretty much. I'm thinking just continue to yank the head back, and as from the beating it on the ground, and other hand just ripped out his throat, like just the whole front, and now I'm sitting there on a corpse.
I thought you were being non-lethal, but
No,
Yes,
Fine.
I wasn't
Has
taking the extra
anger
damage.
issues.
I was going for flourish.
Yeah, non-lethal damage is for after coffee.
All right. So he's down. There's a nasty bloody mess on the floor. Jane looks over and gives a long belabored sigh and then goes in the back to get the mop.
Yes.
You can hear her filling the mop bucket while she's muttering to herself. And do you go back to your seat and
No.
Clean
I'm-
off like you're doing right now.
No, I am going to get up. And I'm going to go over to actually I'm not gonna bother with the restroom because that would involve getting blood all over the door handle, and that would be rude. So I'm just gonna go behind the counter and use the staff sink, the whole, elbows with with the levers and stuff to scrub my hands, get the blood off of them, dry them. Then I gotta go back, sit down, pull my coffee back, pull the plate with the muffin back, and continue to have my breakfast.
Okay. You go back to your usual.
And I think I completely broke Trevor. Hi.
Oh, that was awesome.
Here, since there's a corpse sitting there, is there a? There it is. Boop. Dead. Okay. There's a corpse in front of the
Dead.
coffee place. A couple of the people who left have sort of edged their way back in. Others have just disappeared. They're just not having any more of this today. So then next walks in, carrying some books, usual stuff. It is Neva. So Black Ice walks into Sunbucks. There is the corpse of a clown in front of the counter. And out comes your favorite redheaded barista, rolling the mop bucket. Thus the mop is in the bucket, just pushing it along and just kind of with a damn it look, and starts cleaning up.
Tears of a Clown is playing in the background.
So
Since that,
I look
Love of a
around.
clown.
I see Hot in the corner, who's obviously a little on the moist side because she clearly has just cleaned her. I look at G to her, and then I proceed to walk behind the counter and pour myself a cup of coffee. And then go the long way,
Okay.
like up and around and stuff. And then go sit with Pa and more.
Okay. So you go behind the counter to make yourself some coffee.
Mhm.
While you're doing that, a couple folks from STEM walk in, plop down a stretcher, put the body onto the stretcher, pick it up, and walk out the door.
Up.
Let's see, NPCs. There she is.
I believe the ambient music in Sunbucks has
Calamity
now gone
is
from
busy.
Tears of a Clown to Yakety Sax.
I really need to come up with an icon for Calamity dressed up as a Sunbucks employee, but for the time being. So Calamity then is able to finish mopping up, and you're operating the coffee machine when, to everybody's surprise, you look up and there is another clown who says, "Freeze, this is a stick up. Give me all of your money or the coffee machine gets it," which you happen to be operating at this exact minute.
Okay.
It's at the really high pitched point of it where it's, doing who knows what right before the coffee comes out of it.
Really?
Okay.
Really?
I pause, look up at this asshole, You said freeze.
Oh, you done asked for it now.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me initiate the combat sequence here. Now, unfortunately, Calamity is going to appear on the combat list, but she does not have her guns and she's not shooting anybody today. She's just at work. But
Okay. What's my difficulty with this asshole?
2.
Mr. Man.
Oh,
ooh.
I can't even spend a point of XP.
Whoopsie.
Oh, look, a free GM intrusion. On your initiative roll, less.
I used 2 points of freaking effort.
Oh,
So rolling a natural one doesn't necessarily mean you fail.
No, but it gives our GM a lot of leeway now.
Yeah. Now that being said, Julie, if you are feeling nice, Paw can spend an XP to let Neva
Well,
roll that.
Or
yes.
the fact that it's
yeah.
one clown and there's 2 of you now, you might not need to.
That's true.
So that's your call.
Let's see what weird name our GM has in mind. Because
Okay,
we
so
haven't
what
given
ends up
him that.
happening is since you are operating the coffee machine at the time that this is starting, you're like, freeze, and your hands freeze to the coffee machine, which is now starting to make funny noises because it has a temperature differential that is not supposed to exist inside of it.
Okay.
All right, has Paul rolled for initiative?
No. Still a 2?
Yep.
Ooh. Ha ha ha.
All right. So, and Paw of Justice is up first.
I'm going to to jump behind this guy and because he probably did not see me. And this one because of the fact that, I really don't want I don't want Neva to possibly get hit by the discharge gun. I am going to from behind grab him and try to basically get the gun out of his hand.
All right. Although, for that matter, I'm fairly certain that if he just shot Neva, it may not actually end up hurting her. She's a lot tougher than she looks.
Probably not, but
On
I'm
the
now
other hand, the
covered
coffee
in
machine,
ice.
there we go.
the coffee machine may be in danger. Okay. Ah, damn it, I need to do this.
That's 11 points. 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And he's disarmed.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
He's armless.
Okay, so Neva, roll a speed check, target 3 to see if you can pull your hands off of the machine without damaging it or yourself.
You have a half an hour. Stop.
Yes.
And it made your effect. So what effect would you like?
Hmm. Well, obviously my hands have come off of that and now are just completely coated in ice with just a little bit of my palm showing. But I want there to be like literal shatters of ice directed at this guy as I break the ice off of
All right, so a
my
free attack
hand.
basically.
Basically, yeah.
Let's see. How much damage does your onslaught do?
Oh, let me go see the onslaught. Damage 2.
Oop, I missed that.
Ignores armor.
Wait, I missed the number.
2, but ignores armor.
Or you can do physical and it will do 4 points, but not ignore armor.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong onslaught. Yeah, 4.
Okay. So, do get showered with ice. Fortunately, Pa's standing right behind him at the time, so he takes all of that damage instead. Okay. Let's see. So, Clown Robber. So, I know exactly what he's going to do. Okay, so he is going to attempt to shoot the coffee machine as he had originally threatened. Unfortunately, he has really bad aim. So, Neva, speed defense, target 2.
Fuck, I'm almost out of speed points. Hold on. Speed defense. Target.
Did you rest up from the last session?
Yes, I have like 13 speed, but that last one used 6 points.
For the 20, you get those back.
Oh, okay. Let me go back and put those back.
Put
Yeah,
them back.
So on the roll window on the chat screen, you see the little 2 stacks of coins.
Yeah.
Click that. You'll get all your points back.
Okay, cool.
Dude, stop. Pull it down.
Okay. So he manages not to shoot you, which is good. Although he breaks one of those flavored syrup bottles that's on the shelf behind.
It's okay, it's the raspberry.
Blech.
Only one man. Never mind.
Calamity stands there, looks at the water in the mop bucket, looks at the person, and decides, no, I don't need to refill it. Okay, next round. So Paw. Oop, hang on a second here. Paw back over into the fray.
Let's see. Okay, I don't want this one to be quite as messy. So since I'm behind him, I am going to kick him in as a step back so I can kick him in the back of the knee to drop him to the ground and then proceed to sit on him.
Okay. So roll an attack, target 2.
There we go. That'd be 9 points to the knee. Or maybe 5 points to the knee, 4 points to the lower back. Yeah.
I used to be an adventurer like you till I took 5 points to the knee. Okay. So he goes down like a sack o' potatoes. Let's see. Let's call him impaired. That's the first thing I can see on the list. So Ice, Pa's now sitting upon the prone clown, whose knee is facing in the wrong direction entirely, but he's still breathing. So the question is, does that bother you at all?
Yes, the man is still breathing. So I put both hands on the counter, hoist myself and slide over and land right in front of him. I proceed to on his cheeks like I lovingly caress him and use my brand new ability of
All right. So what sort of target is it to see if that works?
well, it says if the target is an NPC or a creature of a level 3 or lower, he dies.
I believe you do still. It is still an action to do something that he doesn't want
Yes.
you to do, so there's still a roll.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So roll it as an attack, target 2.
Oh my gosh, you two, it is not even remotely time. Enough.
All right. So you form a wonderful complex of ice crystals inside of his brain, which immediately causes him to expire because humans don't live like that. And
I
so
step back. Pour myself a freaking cup of coffee.
okay, so we'll add the dead flag onto him. And combat is over. Okay, so Calamity returns to cleaning up the significantly smaller amount of blood this time, which is nice.
Yeah.
She's second thinking they probably should have refilled the mop bucket because at this point she may be contributing more blood onto the floor than she is removing. She's having that calculation inside of her head first thing in the morning, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul goes
We
back.
won't talk about the other bodily fluids.
And after a short while, once Ice has finished off her coffee, so where is Neva going to go in the store?
I'm gonna go sit with Paw.
Okay, I'll put you over in your
In my corner.
usual corner. He goes back to work, and
Yep.
a couple very nice and handy STEM agents come in. It's the same ones. They haven't driven off yet. They were filling out some paperwork, and there's already a second deceased clown that they politely cut out. So, are you going to bring this sequence of events up to anybody else, or are y'all just going to sit there and enjoy your coffee?
I finish my coffee and then I'm gonna text the guys.
First. Yes.
Okay,
Note
so what
to
text
self.
did you send?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What text gets sent?
Oh.
I was
Talk
going to
about-
say note to self. Add admin controls to the comms.
Oh, I know. The coffee tasted a little funny this morning.
Where is my spray bottle to take care of the misbehaved cat?
I nearly snarf my coffee when I see what she has sent to the team.
Hmm. Dot.
Which I then reply, some clown interrupted breakfast.
3 of you received this text, these pair of texts.
You get a response from Crash that says "too soon."
So are any of the remainder of you heading off to Sunbucks to see what's up, or are you just gonna let it go?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna head on over.
Yeah.
Hail, hail,
Yeah.
the gang's
Okay.
all here.
So the three of
This-
you show up at Sunbucks. The slippery surface sign is in front of the counter. The floor looks still perhaps a little bit sticky. You're not quite sure. The mop has been returned to the room in the back. There is an ambulance up in front of Sunbucks as you're heading in, with two guys filling out a pile of paperwork in front. They do not seem to be paying the slightest attention to whoever may be in the back of the ambulance.
Anybody else on the street?
Strangely enough, there's not a whole lot of people walking into or towards Sunbucks. A couple
There's
people
no-
are hastily leaving as you're arriving.
There's no, ludicrously small car with lots of people packed into it.
No, there is not. There might be one of those small NYPD cars. And it goes voop when it pulls you over. Favorite thing of all time. So you arrive there. So where are you all heading?
I'm going over to examine the bodies.
The bodies have been removed.
Well, shit.
They're in
So-
the ambulance.
Yeah,
They're in the back of the ambulance.
that's true.
I'm going up to and Neva and just to check in. And walk
You
up, it's
get
like,
maybe halfway. Oop, there's there. Can't move all of you. Come on. Oh, now it's got an ID and it said that it was better. There we go. You get about here when you feel something weird in the universe, like somebody is trying to burn a hole in your head with their eyesight alone.
does Eddie have anything to do with this?
No.
Okay.
This happens to be that the person working the counter believes that she should be spoken to first. And she's staring at you. You just feel it happening.
Ah,
You done
So-
fucked up, bro.
Ah, pronoun.
uh-huh. I'm sauntering to the midpoint, and then I feel like behind my retinas starting to simmer, and I'm about to say something to Pa, and I stop and I turn slowly. I turn and I give a little wave, and I give like one more, and I continue on to talk with my team members.
So Crash and Jack, you
I
witness
look
this,
over it.
and you're a little worried about the future viability of your team.
I look over to Calamity, open my coat so she sees the gun butt, and just like give her a did do you want to borrow it?
It's like, mm,
Or is it just the antiques you like?
it's too modern for her liking.
Well,
Hmm.
yeah.
So
Sig,
are either of you going to order some coffee, or are you going to talk to your teammates?
I get this feeling that the conversation is going to require caffeine. So-
Do I notice the awkwardness going on between Jean and Jane?
It's fairly obvious. It's not that Jane is angry or anything. She's just, a little miffed that, he was not the and she was not the first concern of his, that he's, concerned about his day job as a leader of a superhero team. So she kind of understands it.
Oh, I am all up in that.
Priorities, man, priorities.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go up. I look pointedly over at Jean, hold the one finger up as, symmetry here, and go over and order myself a large nitro cold brew and a ham and cheese croissant, as is my usual breakfast thing, and look over at Crash. And, you want something?
Oh, yes. It's way too early in the morning to be clowning around like this. Yeah, I get myself the, extra large, whatever the black hole, I think was what we called
Yes.
yeah. He gets himself an extra large black hole.
So as you're giving your order, a person walks in line behind you. And as soon as you've given your order, you hear from, 2 feet behind you, "Freeze! This is a stick up. Everybody give me your money or the coffee machine gets it."
No, for fuck's
Turn-
sake.
I turn to Crash and go, where are all these clowns coming from?
Let's see if we can beat it out of one
Okay, taser it is.
of them. I take that to mean we should be with the rolling of the initiative.
The suspense music
Today,
has
I will
not.
figure out how to select everybody on the screen without scrolling the screen into its furthest extent. Someday, I will accomplish this. I am a computer professional after all.
But today is not that day.
All right. So feel free to roll your initiative. Target 2.
Rolling for initiative.
Yep.
Apparently, initiative and me are not a thing.
Difficulty 2 still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yay, Jack.
All
right.
then.
So Crash,
Oh shoot.
since you brought it up earlier, how about an intrusion?
Absolutely. I will give the extra one to Jack, because I think he may need it.
All right. So you turn on the clown, who spooks immediately and by reflex pulls the trigger. Just bang. Unfortunately, you are faced with a moral decision right now. You are one fast motherfucker. You can totally not get shot by this. You can dodge that. That's nothing. Except she'll shoot the coffee machine. Do you take the hit, or does the coffee machine take the hit?
well, you know, I've got this brand new hard-won resilience that I might as well use. Sure, I will take the shot.
Okay, take 4 points of damage.
Okay, that goes down to 3 with my armor. Is it still my turn, or was that my action?
That was your action.
Okay.
I think, given how these guys are built, I'm not entirely certain that you would survive the first round, the first attack with you.
I'm still not sure he's going to survive the first round.
Jack, you're standing there, about to grab your coffee off the counter as this person is there. And although, you also have a minor effect for your initiative if you would like something from that. Such as perhaps already having, some item at hand, like, your taser in one hand or a hot cup of coffee available.
Yeah, taser. Not gonna waste the coffee. So base difficulty 2.
2.
All right. All right. I'm going to. Let's say it's 2 levels of effort for damage.
Ten points of damage with a taser.
Teaser!
Jesus Christ. Maybe not to-
Oof. Oh, that's gonna stink mightily.
Okay.
Have you heard the legend of taser balls?
No.
Well, it's now the legend of tasered balls, so.
Her name is Taserface. Okay, so she loses her next action.
It's metaphorical.
So Gene, a clown has walked as you walk over to ask what the fuck was going on earlier. You hear a gunshot. A clown has plugged one of your friends and then promptly got tasered by the other one.
Who looked kind of bored while doing it, too.
The plastic clown wig is starting to melt. It does not smell very nice.
So can we assume that this clown is at the moment indisposed?
The clown is currently being tased, which means that their next action is not going to happen.
Okay.
But like come the next round, they could very well like try to turn and run or possibly shoot somebody.
All right. So walking towards paw, bang, turn, crash drops, clown tased. Turn back to paw, and I say, "This is what you've been having to put up with?"
Yep.
How many is this?
This would be numbers 3 and 4. There's 2 of them.
No, there's just the one.
Just the one. So this would be number 3.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I put my hand on Paw's shoulder and say, "Keep up the good work. Next round is on me. I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna spur her next effort, and then I fly out of Sunbucks."
All right.
Oh, and you were cranky when I did that.
Oh,
Yes, but
Nava's
there
pissed.
were killer robots involved in that one.
You can handle it.
All right. Ah, you have not finished your muffin. You have not finished your coffee yet. This is your third clown this morning.
We want this one alive. Really.
Fine.
Nah.
I'm literally going to smack this guy upside the head using the lightest attack possible to daze him.
You can kill the next two.
There we go. Only 5 points of damage, and he's dazed.
Let's see. Oh,
So
thank you.
he's stunned
He's stunned for a round.
and then dazed.
And dazed. I'm not seeing dazed on the list. So what should I put in for dazed?
You need like a squiggly line icon.
Yeah.
If incapacitated or something.
Well,
Mhm.
incapacitated I'm using for stunned. Actually, well, I could just add turn on stunned, so they're stunned and incapacitated. For the incapacitated means dazed. Ooh, man, this clown is seeing better days. So let's see. It is the clown's turn. Oh, hang on a second here. We should move up behind the rubber. There-ish. The clown has no further actions this round. So, but that will clear the stun flag off of them. So next round they're just dazed, assuming they live that long. I know you guys. All right. So black ice.
With a sigh, I reach into my backpack, pull out one of my ubiquitous pairs of handcuffs, and I just walk up to them, lean down, and slap the handcuffs on this asshole. Because I've already killed one today, and I still haven't had my coffee. I'm done. And I leave it at that.
Let's see. Do we have... Oh, damn, there is a shocked one. I could have used that for the
Yeah, there's
for
also,
some
I
of that
think,
next time.
distracted.
But I think incapacitated will also work well for being handcuffed and dazed.
Yeah.
So unless anybody wishes to further any punishment on this person for the next round, we can, close the combat. So does Crash want to beat upon this person any further?
The clown presents as female.
Yes.
Well,
Just by randomness of what
Sure.
images I downloaded.
it's not quite a kick in the nads, and I knee her in the groin.
All right, roll an attack.
What's her
2.
2? This is an unarmed.
Although dazed and incapacitated, I think that gives you a couple of assets on your attack. If
Okay,
that'll
that
help.
it's 2 assets. Yeah, that brings it down to difficulty 0.
I mean, her hands are being held behind her as your partner is, cuffing them. So yeah.
Just saying.
All right. So how much damage does that do?
Um,
To make sure you don't accidentally murder them.
Um, 2.
Okay. Oh, they were only beaten half to death. That's good.
Half to death.
Okay,
Mostly
so now
dead.
you have at your disposal one clown who is coming out of their daze.
I turn around, head back to my seat to have my cup of coffee.
Calamity looks over the counter, inspecting the floor, gives a nod, and then goes back to making everybody's breakfast. Sanitation is a very important part of running a restaurant.
Mhm.
Yes. Don't want to mess with the health inspectors.
If you got $10 million, what's the first thing you would buy? A health inspector.
All right, so your sandwiches come out, your coffee is done. Gene, where have you run off to?
So I have exited Sunbucks and I gained some altitude so that I can try to find where the hell these clowns are coming from. And I would like to make a perception roll to see if I can get an idea of that.
Okay, yeah, that shouldn't be too difficult. So, oh, let's see. Trying to think where I should. Yeah. Although distance might give some of it too. So we'll make it a target 4.
Target
For
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to throw in 2 levels of effort. There we go.
Okay, so you fly up and you poke around a bit, trying to look to see what could possibly be happening.
I look for the wigs.
And then you see it every once in a while. Somebody is leaving Rikers Island dressed up as a clown. Some of them look more clownish than others. Most of them aren't wearing full clown outfits. They just have, a wig and some face makeup, and are traipsing off the island, walking down the long bridge instead of driving it because, why would you do anything the easy way if you're, a mad clown? And just kind of heading their way into your neighborhood.
Okay. So, did we remember to put our comms in this morning?
I'd say yeah.
Is that pretty standard procedure now? Okay.
I would assume so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I um I don't know, I feel like I should touch my ear because we have to do something. But I was like, all right, guys and gals, and everybody else's pals, 3 guesses where our friends are coming from.
Let me guess. First 2 don't count.
That's right.
Oh, good. Hell.
Well, you're
I-
close.
I swear in both Yiddish as I pound my coffee.
So what this means is they walked in a criminal, but before today they were innocents. So let's lay off the lethality here and get to the bottom of this so we can stop the inflow and save our coffee maker.
Hey,
I'd
let's
like-
take a bullet for that coffee maker.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do a roll for sense of the weird just to get a further feel of the place.
Okay.
That's okay with the GM.
Yes.
Difficulty.
Oh, let's make it a 3. This one's not going to be particularly difficult.
Mhm.
Okay, excellent. So, yes, the thing that you notice that really sets you off about this whole thing, and as you think about the other two clowns, since they're not fully dressed up as clowns, and in fact, they're kind of dressed like they're heading off to work. Other than the fact that their faces are painted up, they have a wig on them, and they were, given a pistol. The first one, now that you think about it, is his briefcase is still sitting next to the door of the place. He seemed to have dropped it at some point and walking in. So this seems like ordinary people who have somehow decided they're going to be gun-toting clowns, who all walked in and said more or less the same thing, as though somebody were directing them to threaten the coffee maker in exchange for money. That's pretty bizarre if you think about it.
Hey, what Scion dude's phone number?
What was that?
Do you still have that Scion
Yes.
dude's phone number?
Yes, yes, I do.
My spidey senses are telling me somebody is playing with these guys' brains.
Yeah.
Well, I
I'm-
mean, that is kind of what the king does.
Right.
Yeah. So I message our friend and to tell him we're at Sunbucks. You really need to join us now.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there in just a few minutes. So, Gene, do you head back into the Sunbox?
No. I want to take a closer look and see if I can get any info closer to Rikers without being detected, to see, like, where's the turnstile? Where does a normal person go in and a half-assed clown come out? And if there are any others going to any other places. Because we haven't gotten signaled that there are other clowns holding up soda machines or anything like that, but it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Fair enough. Fortunately, you had already established several positions from which one could spy upon that location from your previous attempts to do such. So you zip over to where the top of the one building where Jack had previously set up and was keeping a nice attention to everybody with his spotting scope. And strangely enough, the situation on the island has progressed further in that they have built a kind of pedestrian barricade using those big cement block things halfway across the island. So you have one half is military base full of a whole bunch of mercenaries and other things trying to hide whatever they're doing inside of the buildings or perhaps underground. And the other half is most of the buildings have now been leveled and it's becoming an open field. The flat spots, of course, have carnival booths and carnival rides. You have the massive big top tent up on the northern part of the island. There are animals traipsing around on the southern part for all of the fun things. And, kids are out there like riding, donkeys and elephants and anything else that they could think to, attach a rope to, so they could charge $2 for somebody to ride on its back. And as you're looking around, you're trying to see like a source for new clowns, and you see somebody come out dressed up like a clown with a suitcase and an umbrella hooked over their arm so they can have a free hand for the pistol, walking out of the big top.
As soon as I notice Clown 4 en route, I internally check in and say, think rather, hey, Eddie, you sense any of your friends here?
You feel Eddie's senses kind of operating, and then you hear, "Oh yes."
Nudge me in the direction.
Oh, under the big tent over there.
Okay. All right. All right. So, okay. I'll deal with that later. And then I fly in the general direction of half a block in front of the clown's direction. And I land and start walking towards it.
Okay. Second here. Let's see. Let's switch ourselves over here, and we've got, oh, look at that. Okay, so those hooligans no longer over here, so I can delete them there. Calamity's not there. The other 4 not there, so we've got you hanging out in the street, and
Where is it?
There we go. Okay, so you land in front of new clown robber number 1, who is walking down the street. Just there's a fairly determined look on their face, like they're going about their daily business and stuff. That's all been painted up, and wearing a funny wig, and has a pistol in their hand. And the locals are just doing their usual of, oh look, a person with a firearm, and disappear into whatever nearby building they can.
Okay. So can I make eye contact, or is it that glazed look of blind fulfilling a command thing?
No, actually, the person is not glazed over. So you land in front, and they kind of stop, like, oh.
Okay.
And they wave at you with the gun.
So I look up and
their
go,
arm has a briefcase and an umbrella.
Like, a clown? There's a circus? Where's the circus? Oh my gosh, this makes me so excited. Where?
I was watching the clowns just earlier. That was awesome. You really need to go to the circus. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Are you going there?
Oh, I just came there. I'm on my way to work.
Really? Where do you work?
Oh, I work over at Max Auto Parts.
Wow, I haven't been to Max since my 82 Ford Fiesta needed to get. Wow, okay. So what do you do? Are you one of the mechanics, or you do administrative work there?
Oh, I deal with large orders.
Okay.
So, like all the mechanics call us, and then I order all the main parts and stuff. So yeah, fun job.
Excellent. Excellent. Look, he's not too far. I haven't seen Max in ages. Do you mind if I just tag along with you until you get in?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Always willing to hang out with one of the local heroes?
Yeah. That's so sweet of you. So I pat him. So what hand is the gun in?
The gun is in the right hand.
The gun is in the right hand. So I go to turn around, like to turn. So instead of facing him, I turn, and with my left hand, I swoop in underneath his right hand and disarm him, hopefully catching him. Now, do I have to roll for that? What do I got to do?
No,
Because
actually,
that's
in
what I
this
want to
case,
do.
you don't, because the individual doesn't seem to realize that he is holding a pistol in his hand. So you just kind of snatch it out, And so the two of you are heading down towards Max. And as you're walking, you notice that you're kind of not taking a direct route over to Max Auto Parts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, it's like, do you have do you need to make a stop or something?
Oh, I was going to go get myself some coffee.
Haha. Look, right. Let me guess. Sunbucks?
It's the best coffee in town. I mean,
I know, right?
it's worth walking a couple extra blocks just to get there.
I totally agree. And then so I wait for him to kind of go back to that just kind of focused brain, and I have lean a half a step back, and I said, I don't care who does it, but I want to have a large double ready as soon as you make eye contact. We are block and a half away. Have it ready outside. No questions asked. Copy?
Copy.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, you doing all right?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I've taken a lot worse than that.
We weren't comparing.
Okay.
And then I go back to walking with the guy to Sunbucks.
You can hear little bits of the coffee maker in the background at the end of it.
And then I think to myself, holy shit, I forgot to get coffee.
Meanwhile, back at Sunbucks is a coffee cup sitting on the counter with your name inside of a heart, just sitting there slowly cooling off in front of Jay.
Oof.
Oh, that's rough.
That's rough on multiple levels. That's just
You're killing me.
So you walk up to Sunbucks. Where have you guys put clown number 3?
In the ambulance with the others.
I was gonna say in the broom closet.
Yeah. If we want to interrogate this one.
Absolutely.
Guys are all talky.
All right, so we will this one off to the side here, because whoever made this map did not think that a coffee shop should have bathrooms or a broom closet.
Of course not.
Okay, so who is going to bring the cup of coffee?
I'll do it. I stomp over, pick up the coffee, smile at Jane, and then go walk out. And
So
have it, I'm holding it out, just out, as Jean and Clown Dude come walking up.
okay, so you walk out with this cup of coffee, and this clown individual and is walking with Gene. Gene has a pistol in his hand. He's not holding it as though he's going to fire it, of course, or anything.
No, of course not.
He just
And in
has
fact,
it on.
so what I do then is as soon as I see Neva and I walk up, and well, shit, I have a problem. So right, so I go to grab the cup of coffee and then hand her the firearm in exchange, all sleight of hand like.
So as you are exchanging the coffee, the clown just steps behind you, walks into Sunbucks, holds out their fingers like a gun, and says, "Everybody, this is a stick up. Give me your money, or the coffee machine gets it."
Yo, for fuck's sake.
And I, without missing a beat, say, "Don't! He might be serious! Those fingers look loaded!" And with that, I duck down and I bum rush him out of the door and basically tackle him out on the sidewalk. With the coffee in hand without spilling it.
You're gonna have to roll that. That'll be a target 3 because of the coffee.
Understood. What am I rolling?
That'll be a standard physical attack.
Unarmed?
Yep.
Okay. You said
Unless you want to use
difficult.
the pistol. Oh wait, you already handed that off.
I already handed it off. Yes. You said difficulty 3?
Yes.
Two levels of effort.
All right. So you bum rush the clown out of the store, who is trying to desperately to shoot at the coffee machine and any other patrons.
Please tell me he's saying bang bang.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, thank you.
But and it's flummoxed that holes are not appearing in the coffee maker.
And so I look at him and go, "Oh my good," like I'm looking at him directly in the eyes and go, "Oh my goodness, somebody's trying to rob the coffee store."
Oh shit, we should get out of here.
Right? Let's go.
Starts scrambling down the street.
So I redirect him back in the direction of Max's, coffee in hand, and we're kind of like doing this, like sort of picking each other up. And I've got my left arm behind him. We're just kind of like going along.
What the hell?
All right.
I did just see that, right? Right.
Jane, by the way, has been watching this because it's been happening right in front of the
Sure.
and she's just kind of like watches what's happened, looks at one of you, and then looks at what's happening again. And you're really seeing her starting to question her, choices in possible people to date.
So I get up back on the comm and Jack, give me the time span between clown entrances.
Sure. Is there a
So you are presuming that the first 3 arrived in fairly short order of each other, and then this last one took a bit longer. So you're guessing that this is largely tied to when these people had to get to work, for folks who have either they were either went to the circus very early in the morning, or they have been there since last night. That's the thing you haven't quite figured out. So it seems like they're like, it's time for me to go to work, so let's see you guys, and then step out as a gun-wielding clown, though still not realizing it at the time as they're leaving.
So there's not a discernible pattern other than it's getting longer, but
yes,
so I relay that to Gene. Just the first 3 were relatively spaced evenly apart, and now there's a big jump in time increment. So
looking at the time, where are we right now? Have we hit 8 o'clock yet?
Yeah, it's well, yeah, because none of you really get up like at the butt crack of dawn, so it's like about 8:30ish now.
Except maybe Paw, just because of her like sleep cycle and everything.
Yeah, she probably spends a good chunk of her afternoon asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
And most night,
It's like
and
so. I relay back to the teams like, okay, I'm about to get this guy to work. I want to see if the effects are lingering, if he tries to come back. Somebody should stand watch and divert, confuse. These people do not know that they're trying to hold up the Sunbucks with a gun.
hey, Gene, I've got a question.
Got an answer.
Is your friend going to work in a clown wig and makeup?
That is an affirmative. I will deal with that whenever we arrive to his place of employment.
Believe it or not, that is not
Okay.
my top priority right now.
okay,
Your
So-
powers of observation never fail to amaze me, Jack.
Bill waltzes into the Sunbucks, heads towards the counter, orders his usual, which is something hideously austere, like black coffee, which gets put out, and without any further instruction or direction, of course, heads over to the broom closet, opens the door, and just walks in and closes it behind him. Like nothing is out of the ordinary here. This is fine.
Kinky.
Nothing like having a morning routine. And this is nothing like having a morning routine. I will go over and just kind of I will lean on the wall outside of the broom closet just in case there's actually anything to hear. And if anyone walks by, I will, I'll put a hand up for you. Occupied.
Yeah, Jane actually looks over, and the other barista working in the morning, and they're both kind of watching like what the heck is happening. The first one missed, the other barista missed the fact that there is a deranged clown that has been beaten up, kicked in the nethers, and handcuffed now in the broom closet. And Jane realizes that and is just wondering what the heck is going on in there now that somebody has walked in and somebody else is guarding the door.
Well, whose fault is that?
Well, if you shot him, there wouldn't be a clown in the closet. I'm just saying. Not that I know anything about shooting people.
Right.
Of course.
Of course.
So I get to
the clown gets to Max Auto Parts, and the person just walks in like nothing is going on. Their colleagues there, this being an auto parts store, is largely a mix of salespeople and folks with some mechanical know-how who instruct people on how to use things and know which things to go and get when you show up and ask, "Hey, I need a part for my car." Which part for which car do you need? That the thing that does that, it's right next to the whoozamabob, right? So he walks in, the other colleague look at him kind of aghast at the fact that he's wearing a clown wig and has clown makeup on. And ignoring the fact that he has an umbrella and the briefcase in one hand, and the other hand, still walking around as though there's a finger gun and right there in their hands. Walks in, "Hey guys, good morning, how's it going?" And just goes into the back, into their office, like nothing happened. couple seconds later, the manager comes out from the back. Did you guys just? Anyone knows what's happening here, or like, are they having problems at home or something?
No, come here. So I motion the manager over and like go back into what their lame excuse for a waiting room is, and avoid the one 63-year-old woman who's been there since a half an hour before the shop opened because she heard a noise and it needs to be taken care of. So
Right
fortunately she's
now.
transfixed on the news station. So I turn to the manager and say, hey, look, I don't know where this guy was last night, but he came from the circus over at Rikers, and unbeknownst to him, he was going to rob Sunbucks. Fortunately, I showed up and convinced him otherwise, but he doesn't know. He has no idea. So be cool with him. Tell him he maybe just had a great time. Help him clean off get rid of that frickin' wig, though. I am telling you. But if he has a sudden urge to just up and leave, that might be important for us to know. And I grab scrap of the napkin or like magazine, some kind of paper, and look at him, and I point to his shirt pocket with the pen, like, take the pen and scribble a number on that, hand it to him. You be sure and let us know if he continues to act funny, because we're trying to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, act funny. You're a clown here too, huh?
Hey, we're all in the funny business. You know that.
Be one of those days.
I turn around like, it's one of those months.
And then you as you're walking out, you hear him having a conversation with one of the people. What do you mean you ordered windshield wipers for a Humvee? No, for a Hummer. Who the frick owns a Humvee around here?
I'll say own might be a little bit of a strong word.
I was just gonna
Possess.
say that for certain
values of owned.
Yeah.
Possession is 9/10 of the law here,
Indeed.
so you know.
Oh yeah.
Somebody can come and take it, I imagine, but
I mean,
all right.
it's one of those mercenary guys. So yeah, there's probably a Moon Labe sticker on the. Sorry, bad joke. Oh, please continue. Just ignore that.
Although, you know, interestingly, the one group inside of in memoriam are indeed that entire group of people. So they all have black pickup trucks with, you know, the Punisher sticker on it and Mullen Lobby written in it, misspelled in Greek, because
Right.
you know, tell which letters are which.
Yeah, and that was in response to ICE saying, "Come and take it." Anyway.
Okay. So after a while, Bill steps out of the broom closet, shudders. You see that his you know, very bald scalp is dotted with sweat. Oh, that's she's in bad shape. That's all I can say. I don't know what we're going to do to correct her. I don't think we can.
That's not good.
Consider, like, usually she has some sort of hypnotic suggestion implanted to do some things that she is unaware of. Unfortunately, like your average like, hypnotic suggestion to, like, from how it looks to me, is kind of like if somebody has like a nasty mole and then you could just kind of like cut it off and put a bandage on it. This is kind of like, similar, except it's a big tumor that's kind of stretching into the brain. I don't see any way to remove it and have her still be intact. So yeah, it's that's really bad. What the
Yeah.
hell happened to her?
Top ad.
Do you see the makeup? We just had this
Well-
discussion yesterday.
There's a circus in town.
So
So we don't know how much of a revolving door it is, but people go to the circus, come out clowns.
do you think the circus king did this himself?
Well,
You're the
you
expert
tell
on
me.
this.
Yeah, like, does it look like this?
I have avoided any contact with them because, well, we're trying to steer clear for exactly reasons like this. Imagine if that was done to one of us.
Right. You
Our mental ability is still intact. That could kind of create a cascading effect.
Mm-hmm.
you literally yesterday mind probed a mime. So mime probed that
Yes,
had
but the mime hadn't been affected like that.
okay, but
This is a completely different mime
I
type.
think the mime was just crazy to begin with.
right, but she was still working for
Yeah. Well, working for and influenced by are different things in this case.
Yeah.
So she's just as crazy as you would expect your average mime to be. Especially one who has, psionic abilities. So that's
But
okay.
you scanned. Have you scanned people who were altered by him?
Nope.
Okay, so you don't have any basis of comparison.
Indeed. We tend not to we stay away from his work. There's a reason for that. The typical like, if you'd like, y'all can call STEM. STEM will come and collect them. And I don't know what'll happen to them afterwards. I don't know what STEM's methodology is for cases like this. But to use another analogy, this is kind of like you find a hunk of uranium lying around and somebody comes and collects it, but you don't know where that uranium is going from there. That's just their job. And that's kind of what's going on.
Awesome.
It
Really?
might go away on its own. It might not. I don't know.
Well, I doubt it's going to go.
But I would
Well,
very much prefer not to myself have to deal with any of them again, because that is just horrifying in there. I don't know what the hell the Circus King is, but human is not like within their repertoire of thought. Just put it that way.
Can I hear any of what Bill is saying as I'm
Well,
returning
you
to
are, as
Sunbuck?
this conversation's happening, you are zipping into
Okay.
Sunbucks. So the question now is, are you going to go over and get involved in the conversation between Crash and Bill, or are you going to deal with the redhead, who is now, quite concerned as to why she has been so far ignored this morning?
You go over, you talk to the woman, you drink the coffee she made for you with a smile on your face.
And you apologize profusely.
Even though that thing is dead and cold, you're just going to have to drink it down.
I have had Weiss.
Ain't nothing wrong with cold coffee.
Mm-mm. So I kind of on a mission, like I walk back into Sunbucks as the conversation is going on, and as if I'm like looking to come in, observe, participate, and as soon as I get to that same point in the store, I stop, pivot to my left, breathe in, and I walk over to the counter. And I say, "Good morning. How are you?"
I'm doing wonderfully. Well, aside from the blood I had to mop up earlier, and
Ooh, that's
having guns pointed at me this morning too. I'm not terribly sore about that. I do that to people all the time, but okay, usually people don't live through that when I do it. But it's, fair enough. I accept that, and it's been a morning. How are you?
um remarkably functional for being under caffeinated.
The oven thingy on the counter behind bings, and so she, without like taking her eyes off, she just leans back, opens it up, grabs the tongs, pulls a sandwich out of it, puts it onto a plate in front of her, and slides it over to you, as though she has done this a billion times in her career.
I look down, look up, and why, thank you very much. That's incredibly thoughtful. Because now that I catch a whiff of what's coming from that, realize that I haven't eaten either. Thank you. And I reach out, take the plate, and start to pivot, to turn, to determine, am I going now to chat with Bill and Jack and that conversation, or just hang out and eat, when the that little needling starts, just little bitty, little sense, and I turn back around before and say, I want to apologize for earlier this morning. I was very much focused on my duty and as team leader, and honestly have just recently been getting the hang of this. So forgive me if I offended.
Oh, that's all right. She leans forward over the counter towards you and purses her lips, so give you a quick kiss, and then produces a new cup of coffee that's actually hot and puts it down for you. Thank you.
I did the little peck. Thank you.
If
Thank
we
you very
heroes
much.
have offended, think with this and all is muted.
And then as you turn to go and talk to the others, you hear that she has pulled the rifle that she keeps underneath the counter out, popped the round out of it, so the chamber is now empty. Closes it and puts the bullet back into the tube, and then slides the rifle underneath the counter.
Well, glad that there wasn't further damage done.
Might I suggest roses?
You might. You might.
And I'm supposed to be the one who has trouble talking to folks. Okay.
Okay, so
Sorry.
is back, having her still going through her muffin as big as her head.
Mhm.
Okay, so there. So
Uh,
Jack, are you involved with the conversation with Bill, or hanging out with the others, or just kind of off somewhere?
I figured that first thing Jack was going to do um, after Gene took off was start comparing the guns. Are they all like the same
No,
model?
they are not. They are varying models. They have all had their serial numbers filed off of them. They are not spectacularly big guns or anything like that.
Right.
So they're, you know, technically heavy because they're not like, like a small 310 or anything like that, but you know, basically like, like Saturday night specials and things of that ilk. So nothing, special or great, but can get the job done when it's working. So
But nobody ordered a case of,
no. These are pretty miscellaneous, which
okay.
like as like uh in memoriam, being a military-ish organization, most of them have the same type of equipment depending on which group they're in.
Right.
So that they do have a standard layout. And this is none of the stuff, like they never would order anything like this. Just way too unreliable and cheap.
Right. They're, yeah.
This almost looks like somebody had, gone into the evidence locker down at the police station and just grabbed a pile of the guns and took them with them. But you imagine you would have heard if that
Wouldn't
happened.
be, you'd think, but maybe not. I wonder if the circus has a gun check. Were they in like Oklahoma or Missouri recently just to
They have
stock up?
traveled around, so you're not quite sure where they were recently.
So something's been gnawing at Crash. The squirrel or something. He's gonna signal for Paw to come over.
Yes.
Can you keep talking to this one? There's something I want to check on. Pointing at Bill.
Mhm.
Okay. So I go invisible and I go out. Is the STEM ambulance still there?
Yes, actually, it hasn't been that long, and they're still enjoying their coffee, regardless of the fact that there's two corpses sitting in the back. But they're trying to figure that maybe that third person will end up still in the ambulance, and they'll save themselves a trip.
So I basically am going to be eavesdropping on them. And if I can figure out a way to get into the van without being discovered, because walkthrough walls is where my next 4 XP is going to go, I would love to camp out inside the ambulance when they go to leave. Can I possibly stealth my way in there?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of a good target for sneaking into a occupied ambulance
While invisible. Well, no, the invisible comes in my assets, but
yes, yeah, that would be an asset, but try to figure, because you have to open a door somewhere.
Yeah,
is the trick. Although they are fairly preoccupied with their stuff, and they're used to weird things in the world. So let's say that is a stealth target 5.
Okay.
Just because if nothing else, the doors are a bit noisy when they open and close.
Sure. I will spend 1 level of effort to reduce that down to a difficulty of 0, and I make it.
Excellent. Okay, so you slip into the back.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, the driver, is busy filling out paperwork on a tablet.
Okay.
They have the wallets from the 2 individuals out, which is apparently making their lives significantly easier. And the other one is talking on the phone.
Okay.
And the conversation is going something along the lines of, well, it appears they have, at least on a limited scale, gone active. There's been 3 of them. Oh wait, no, there was a 4 that wandered by. I don't know where the heck that one went, but I haven't heard any gunshots, so that's I guess that's okay. We can assume there's going to be more. So yeah, that's okay. I would not complain about that. I can hang around a bit longer. There's another one that's Baldy is looking at right now, and yeah, they're having a chat about that. So in the broom closet, handcuffed after having been tased, and that was, yeah. No, of course, no, that as is their right. I am not going to complain how the rules work. I work for the same company. Remember that. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Company.
Can I possibly get some kind of look at the tablet?
Oh yeah, you can. Not since you're invisible, you can just kind of lean forward.
Yeah.
So it is a paperwork for processing a deceased individual. It's quite specific about using that terminology.
Okay. What kind of procedures are kind of available on this form for the check all that apply to be delivered to this address to be
so you have things
way.
like there's an initial part where it's just like the identity of the person, the event where all of this took place, and these have all been filled out. Person is working on medical evaluation, and the one that is working on is throat missing, face crushed, and just left it at that. Partially exsanguinated, and is now working on the routing part of it, which is just they are checking off sent for processing. The choices are amongst things like processing, analysis, disposal, and no, that's pretty much it. So process, dispose of, or analyze whatever happened. So apparently this has not risen to the level of analysis, and not just straight up disposal, which you wonder what that means, versus processing. That's what you do if somebody is actively radioactive or something. You're not quite sure.
Okay. How does their level of patience look? How long do I have any clue as to how much longer they're willing to hang around before they decide to just leave number 3 behind and take off?
Given how the conversation on the phone is going, they don't seem to show any inclination that they're going to be leaving immediately.
Only so long I want to camp out here. Boring.
Or you could plant a camera.
Yeah. The problem is then retrieving it, because what I don't have is a networked camera. I've got a little GoPro that I got from probably one of the best ciphers I've used in the entire campaign.
Nice.
But it is not unfortunately networked. So I will take out my phone, set it to silent, and I will text to the group chat that I am staking out STEM ambulance, plan to be here for a while, going dark, we'll check in later.
So as you send this, you see some motion out of the out of the window as a person plummets to the ground and lands on the sidewalk in a flutter of red, white, and blue. Person stands up and rolls their shoulders back, showing off a tremendous amount of muscles as the statesman lands in front of Sunbucks.
Oh, this asshole.
He struts over to
Do-
the window,
Oh.
knocks on it a couple times, and then rolls it down, closes his phone. Oh, wow, you're a lot faster than I thought. Okay, yeah, so got 2 stiffs in the back and 1 crazy in the store right now. Yeah, all right. Oh, this is the whole team over here? Yep. They're still finishing the breakfast. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'll be back in a few. And then with a dinging of the door and a once again swoop of his gloriously long cape, in walks the statesman. Well out of his typical territory of Manhattan, where he's very rarely seen outside of, especially in his full regalia, which he's wearing. His cape is an American flag.
Because of course it is. He walks in. I turn,
Does it
notice
go
him.
against the flag code?
Indeed it does.
Yes.
Unless
yes, it does.
maybe a superhero can get away with wearing a flag as a piece of clothing. But
I was about to
this
say,
is
you tell
something
him.
this is something you imagine USA probably cringes at every time he sees. As a person who spent a very good long time in the Marine Corps, he takes the flag rather serious.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So-
212. What the hell are you doing in 718?
I'm looking at the statesman. I hold a finger up to Jack and just allow me. And I so now, because of what I have engaged in pre-coffee, I turn to look at Jack and completely uncharacteristically do my best Crash impersonation and go, "It's been far, far too long," and turn to walk over to him.
The statesman standing there with his hands on his hips, looking mighty as always, with a bit of a condescending look. And he, of course, looks down upon everybody as he is almost 7 feet tall and just gigantically built specimen of a person. Who, as you've from the number of times you've seen him fight on TV, is certainly not a person you want to get punched by any means.
Of course, of course.
He's
I
one of
look.
those, he's really good at what he does, and he totally knows it.
Mm-hmm. And I approach him and I have my arms. I was like, "My goodness, what a pleasant surprise! How may we be of service to you today, Mr. Statesman?" Wait, sorry.
Oh, I'm wondering what's going on over on Rikers Island at the moment, and it seems things are escalating.
That would be an understatement.
What she
Could
said.
say it's clownception.
Okay. Would you like a cup of coffee? I'm getting more.
A Danish.
Danish?
Oh,
Dish.
I guess I should get a cup of coffee. Although I hear rumor this is the best coffee in town, but I'm quite certain that the fine places in Midtown are way better than this. And once again, you feel the redhead staring, burning holes into his cape as he's talking.
What kind of coffee would you like? I'll get it for you since I'm getting up.
I look at Calamity and just kind of gesture to the coat again.
Tinkering
Could be
around
fun.
with the machine. And she leans forward. If only it would do something.
Ah, well.
So while his coffee's being prepared, he strolls over to Bill, who is still near the woman who is trying to figure out how to free her hands so she can shoot the coffee maker or get some money out of everybody who's there in exchange for not shooting it. Like, Mr. Klein, how are you today? Bill looks up. Well, still on vacation. For another 28 hours, I believe. Oh, and then our friend will be back then. Of course he will. He has to get back to work. He's working on breast cancer next, so already got the research started for that. He needs to do some tweaking on the process. But, just doing his thing. Yes, one of the good ones, I'm told. One of the good ones, right? So, looks at the woman, and what's your name? And the woman looks up, says, "This is a stick." Hang on. Turns around, points her finger at him. "This is a stick up. Give me your money or I'm going to shoot the coffee machine." He looks at her, a little confused. And looks at Bill. Can't you fix that? Bill, no, not going to. Not going to try. Just no. That's somebody else's job. I'm not touching it. Mind Hive's not touching it. Nobody's touching it. I might have to take things into my own hands, says, and holds a fist up. And since, a couple of you are standing close by, those fists are freaking huge. Like, USA has extraordinarily large hands. This guy's are even bigger. He's just a towering monstrosity of a person with that chiseled jaw that, we all know who would play him in the TV series if they could afford him. And he's not, busy playing another chiseled jawed superhero. The coffee is done, and then, so she puts the cap on it, slides it over to the end of the counter, does not interact with him at all. The reason why, perhaps being that she just doesn't like the guy, or perhaps the fact that, she shoots people for a living every once in a while, and, maybe he would take odds with that, so she's just hanging low. One of those. Or she might very well just getting off the feeling that Gen X does not seem to like this individual either, so she might just be doing it out of solidarity.
Lean over,
Like a
whisper at her.
dog? Please don't tell me you just
Out of solidarity.
solidarity. Yeah.
It was like, axe are yours?
He picks up the coffee and starts drinking it, and still talking to Bill, and then stop for a drink some more of it. You see the gears grinding in his head that this actually is better coffee than the places that he usually goes to, and is not quite happy about this because he's in charge of the greatest borough in the greatest city in the world, and he does not like the fact that anything might, outdo them. So where did you guys get this coffee machine from?
State secret.
It's Queens. What's up?
So, looks like we may need to take matters into our own hands when it comes with our neighbors over here. And it appears that the person in charge is going to be back in 20 some hours. So I'm trying to decide if it's better to try to address it before he returns or after. Because to my experience, there are a few problems in this world that a little violence can't fix. And bigger problems just require, a bit more violence.
Bigger problems require a bigger hammer.
Indeed. And I'm the biggest hammer there is.
Don't tell me it's your penis.
Sorry, I just had that whole thing from, trying to remember, was it Robot Chicken or something about it? The superhero who's always trying to pick up women for his alter ego.
Remember that one a month ago.
I don't
No,
remember. I
I don't
never
know.
saw that.
They're horrible.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And so I was and drink some more of the coffee and get another one of those to go to make some plans. So yeah, this is problem. Let me know if any more of these people show up. You have my number, right?
Oh, never lost it.
Excellent.
Bill looks at him. I do now.
So he looks at the oh, do you want me to collect her for you guys so the our friends can get back to work?
What? That isn't their job?
He kind of grabs her by the back of her outfit, picks her up like a kitten by the scruff of the neck, and just wanders out the door, picks up his second cup of coffee, having just finished the first one, and saunters out. And the second the door shuts, you hear Bill under his breath saying, "Prick."
Christ, what an asshole.
I reach out, I lean over, and fist bump him. Sit back.
If this
You
turns into a
have
superhero bar, I'm out of here.
no idea what it's like working in his neighborhood. Every day I have to deal with him.
Ugh. I'm
He
sorry.
takes a very personal interest in Shift. I do not know why. Shift doesn't really need to do anything for him. He is impenetrable, as best I think is the best way to put it. He's almost impossible to damage, and he's very strong, flies. He's just got the whole thing going on. So why he's interested in Shift, I do not know. And at some point, I fear that Shift is going to lose his patience or their patience and do something to him, and I don't know what. I'm kind of waiting. So, yeah, this is just
Gene, after hearing that, Gene makes a mental note to get in touch with someone he knows in STEM, that this is probably something once we deal with all that is worth looking into.
Oh, what was the name of the woman, your case manager at STEM? Do you remember?
Oh my goodness, her.
Yeah.
Yes, her.
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Her, the one with the name, yeah.
With the name and about the names.
It's not Darla, is it?
No, it's not Darla.
No.
We'll have to go back and look.
Dimitri, the weapons guy. Marla,
Darla, I was close.
yes.
I was about to say really close. Yeah.
So he's wandered off. The van drives off with Crash still sitting in the back of it, heading to get some, good bits on what happens to corpses of other people. So while you're in there, before it drives off, the back door opens up and a woman is unceremoniously tossed into the back, partially lands on you, and you do your best not to move or make a noise or anything like that because you don't want to get punched by the big guy. You can probably outrun him, but he is fast. He is very fast. You do not want to be in that race.
Nope.
And he just slams the door shut, pats the back of the ambulance a couple times, thump thump.
That moves it forward about 50 feet.
And then they just turn it over and start driving off, heading off onto where you're going. And the rest of you sit there and, all right. Well, you know what? At least, things have calmed down. Things can't get worse for the rest of the evening.
Oh,
don't.
And then
God.
3 people
Damn it.
walk in. all aim their pistols at the coffee machine and in unison say, "This is a stick up. Give us all your money or we're going to shoot the coffee machine."
No, so that the thing is, as soon as we turn, we see them hold the pistols up and they say, "This is a stick up." All of us in unison say, "Give us your money or we shoot the coffee machine,
maker.
coffee maker."
All right, and that is it for tonight's issue.
Cliffhanger.
No,
We
that,
know what's going to happen to those three. Let's
yeah,
face it.
yeah. There's no
Yeah.
cliffhanger there. That was a perfect ending scene. Thank you. For
Oh
that.
my god.
All right, so that was issue 23 of The Powers That Be. This one was called We Came In. And they did and kept coming. So that was great. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. I don't think we've gone back and forth between the main screen and the combat screen that many times in an episode, or like up to this point continuously. So anyway, we're going to get out of here, do our after show, which will be up on YouTube probably tomorrow. If you guys like what we do, or if you don't like what we do, please let us know in the comments. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your friends' enemies. Just because, we like doing this and would like to hear from other people who might like to watch it. In the meantime, for Patrick, ECAT, Matt, Julie, and Ray, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Have a good night, everyone.